Want to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim HaKadosh. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace, love, salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. So coming to you with a quick update of what's actually going on right about now, or yesterday or whatever. It looks like American Airlines flight nationwide briefly were delayed by technical issues, quote unquote. And of course, these technical issues came when most people are traveling around the world. We look at everything as a sign. You know what I'm saying? Um, Everything as a sign. Give me a second here. Yeah, hold on. It's making me think of this precept in Ecclesiasticus. Yeah, this is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 5 verse 15. It says, "Be not ignorant anything in a great matter or small, even though this may seem like a small matter, it's a sign to us that the Lord just ain't fucking with your holidays, people." You know what I'm saying? He doesn't care. As you can see, there's a whole bunch of delays and cancellations that happen with American Airline because of these tech issues. Could be hacks, could be actual technical issues, computers went down, whatever it may be, loss of power. But it had people scared and worried. It says American airline flights across the United States were briefly delayed by technical issues on Tuesday morning, interrupting travel on one of the busiest days of the year. It says the airline, because what's today? Okay, what's today? Today is Tuesday, and today is so-called Christmas Eve, the day before so-called Christmas. It says the airline requested a nationwide ground stop, according to the Federal Aviation Administration, but the FAA lifted it about an hour later once the problem was resolved. It says American Airlines said flights had resumed about 8:50 a.m. No American airline flights were canceled as a result of stoppage. It says vendor technology issue briefly affected flights this morning. The issue has been resolved and the flights have resumed, the airline stated. I said, "We sincerely apologize, blah, 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 blah." But, again, Ecclesiasticus 5 and 15, "Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or small." We're not ignorant of this, man. This is all a sign because the Lord doesn't mess with these stupid-ass holidays. You have one that passed Thanksgiving, and you have another one coming up, and then you have the so-called New Year going into 2025. So this is this is Isaiah 1 and 13. It says, "Bring no more vain oblations." Okay. As a matter of fact, let's look up this word oblation. It says oblation. It says a thing presented or offered to God for a god. It says, yeah, pretty much it's like a religious offering. And of course, when you think about or you go to Christmas Eve, whatever, it's a religious thing for a lot of people. A lot of people celebrate Hanukkah around this time, which, that's spiritually, it's already passed, according to our calendar, but they celebrate these things. So it goes back to a religious thing for a lot of these Christians. So they're sacrificing or giving up a vain offering. It says in that word, vain here, it says having or showing an excessively high opinion of one's appearance, ability, blah, 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 producing no result. That's really, we should switch those two those two definitions. The first definition should be producing no results, meaning it's empty, it's useless. That's what vain really means. You did it for, or when you do something, "Oh man, I did this in vain." Yeah, you did it for nothing. It was useless. Them celebrating these holidays, you're doing that in vain. And the Lord said, don't bring that to me no more." And he's mainly, of course, the scriptures are only talking to the Israelites, man. So he's telling the Israelite, all you other heathen can be confused and dismayed with whatever you're going on, what you got going on in the beliefs and ideologies that you so-called believe in. Okay, so you could keep doing that vain crap because your whole life is vain. You being an Edomite or a Moabite or Ammonite is vain in itself, because the scriptures say what? Thereof is the drop of a bucket, okay? Or they are as spittle, So it's like, you don't really matter anyway. But to the Israelites, the apple of my eye, you better stop doing this stuff. This goes back to Revelation, the 11th chapter, where it talks about who we are to measure. The Lord is measuring a certain people, and it's not everybody. It says, bring no more vain oblations. Incense is an abomination unto me. It says the new moons and Sabbaths, okay, which is, it says new moons and Sabbaths. So, like, it's what they regard, a new moon or a Sabbath, okay? We know what we do on new moons, okay? We know what we do on Sabbaths. We know the weight or the importance those bring, but you got people in the world who create their, in a sense, new moon and Sabbaths that they regard a day higher than the next. He's like, look, all that's an abomination to me. What would be considered their new moon and Sabbath is a Thanksgiving, is a July 4th, is New Year's Eve, Christmas Eve, Christmas, Valentine's Day, so on and so forth, MLK Day. There's more to name. You know what I'm saying? Veterans Day, who fucking cares, man? Memorial Day, all that stuff. That is what he's saying. All those are abomination to me. It says the calling of assemblies, right? And that's what we're looking at right here. People are trying to get on flights and go see grandpappy and grandmommy to assemble together. All right. It says I cannot away with. It is iniquity. All right, and that word iniquity means immoral, okay, or grossly unfair behavior, right? It's not really auspicious behavior, man. It's not favorable in the sight of the Lord, okay? It says even the solemn meeting. It says your new moons and appointed feasts, my soul hateth. They are trouble unto me. I am weary to bear them. Yeah. So next thing you know, he makes technical issues with the flights, even though they kept going, but again, we don't overlook little things like this. So a technical issue could have happened last week on a fucking Wednesday, on a random ass day, but it happened on Christmas Eve when everybody is trying to travel. Okay. Isaiah chapter 14 and 11, it says, and then said the Lord unto me, pray not for this people, for their good. It says, when they fast, I will not hear their cry, and when they offer burnt offering in an oblation, I will not accept them, but I will consume them by the sword, by the famine, and by the pestilence. And that's what's coming to this place, man. Screw it, Christmas Eve or Christmas or whatever holiday that you want to celebrate during this time. Screw him. The Lord don't like him. He's gonna recompense you with a sword because you've been doing it all incorrectly this whole time. And his prophets have been out in the highways and byways and doing certain epistles online as such what I'm doing here today, and you refuse to listen. That's not his problem, my problem, the prophet's problem. That's your problem. That's a personal problem. Okay? Going back to Proverbs, the first chapter, it said what? Simple ones. Yeah. Proverbs 1 and 24 says, because I have called and ye refused, I've stretched out my hand. All right. Stretching out a hand is like in a sense of a helping hand. And that comes in many fashions. And one of the main fashions that is coming in is by speech. Okay. Meaning we are trying to tell people through, the Lord is using us as vessels to get a message across to you people. And when I say you people, I'm talking about you blacks, you Negroes, you so-called Hispanics, you so-called Native Americans, aka you so-called niggers, you so-called wetbacks, and you so-called tomahawks. Okay? We're trying to reach out to you and tell you to stop being a nigger, a wetback, and a tomahawk, and go be an Israelite and come back to your power, whose name is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahweh Shai. All right, but when we tell you these things, you refused. We stretch out our hand, and it says what? And no man regarded, meaning you slap it away. So, going back, Jeremiah 14:11, then said the Lord unto me, pray not for this people, for their good. Yeah, it's for your own good that we don't pray for you. You know, like we don't. I mean, quite frankly, that does us a favor. You know, it's less work that we have to do. You know, and we only have to focus on a certain particular group of people. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's about all I had with this. Um, as you can see, the Lord isn't playing. He never was, you know what I'm saying? But he just doesn't like this time of the year. Every year he doesn't like this time of the year. And when you celebrate these things, you're just adding on to the iniquity that's ultimately going to get you, again, like it says in verse 12, the sword, the famine, and the pestilence. All right, so that's what's going on right now. So Lord willing, this is edifying. I'm going to give all glory, honor, and praises to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem HaKakodash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders, great millstone, who rule and teach well. Peace of salutation to the elect 144 first fruit. Till the next time, we'll say shalom, and like always, repent, for Yahweh Shai is coming back sooner than what me and you believed. All right, shalom.